Welcome to today's video. Get ready to witness heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat moments where one small mistake can lead to disastrous consequences. Every decision, every move, matters when it comes to protecting lives. Stay alert and stay safe. A car recklessly crosses the barrier and collides with the oncoming train. The driver accidentally switched gears just before the tracks, but luckily escaped unscathed. The reckless driver crosses the tracks while the barrier is lowering, then calmly walks right before the train arrives, crashing straight into the car. Horrifying moment. A salt train in Posad crashes straight into a truck, sending it flying towards the onlookers, creating a haunting scene. A tense moment. The heavily loaded truck crosses the tracks while the barrier is still up. But due to the truck's length, it just passes the tracks before the barrier comes down. Right after that, the train charges in, crashing straight into the trailer's rear. After the train passes, the cyclist rushes across without realizing the passenger train is coming from the opposite direction, just a few centimeters away from disaster. Luckily, he escapes, all because of a careless moment, not looking left or right before crossing. The truck is stuck on the tracks, forcing the driver to abandon the vehicle just before the train charges in, crushing it. Luckily, the driver escapes, but one of the train staff gets lightly injured and is taken to the hospital. The woman recklessly crosses the tracks in the Netherlands and narrowly escapes death. The train rushes towards her, just a few centimeters away. A heart-stopping moment, fortunately not turning into a tragedy. An unbelievable moment. The woman casually crosses the tracks without paying attention, narrowly missing being hit by the oncoming train. A miraculous escape beyond belief. Driving behind the green SUV, he almost crosses the tracks right in front of an oncoming train. At the last moment, he swerves. 1 second later, disaster would have struck. The train driver honks a warning, but the car still recklessly crosses right in front of the train, leading to a minor collision. Luckily, the driver isn't hurt, just a moment of panic. A breathless moment. The man casually walks on the tracks, seemingly unaware of the train approaching like death itself. Immediately, a police officer dashes forward, pulling him to safety, just seconds before the train hits. A spectacular rescue in the nick of time. Heart-stopping moment. The woman recklessly rides her bike across the crossing while the barriers are down, but with an overloaded basket, she clumsily falls onto the tracks. At that very moment, 2 female crossing guards rush in, pulling her out just in time to prevent a catastrophic accident. Standing right at the designated spot, the man suddenly bends down and cycles under the barrier. Just as he hits the track, he looks left and freezes. The train is right beside him. panicked, he tosses the bike down, stumbling and nearly falling as the train brushes by within inches. The driver recklessly takes a shortcut across the tracks, but gets trapped right in the middle. All rescue attempts are useless. At the very last moment, he escapes just before the train arrives, crushing the SUV into a mangled heap of metal. Two women recklessly jump down before the train fully stops and fall flat onto the ground. One nearly gets swept away by the train, but luckily bystanders rush in, pulling her from danger just in the nick of time. The Scania truck driver hurriedly crosses the intersection without waiting for the train, but misjudges the timing. The result? The train rushes in, sweeping away the truck. Now one can only guess at the extent of damage to the vehicle and its cargo. At a crossing in Poland, a truck was crossing the tracks when the barrier dropped and blocked ahead. It couldn't escape in time. Then, suddenly the train speeds in, slamming into the truck's rear. The intense impact sends cargo bursting out everywhere. No one injured in the horrifying derailment at Santa Fe Junction, Kansas City. The instant the carriage leaves the tracks, multiple collisions follow. One carriage even soars into the air, slamming directly into the bridge above. The truck driver ignores the blaring horns, driving straight onto the tracks. Immediately, the train crashes into it. A devastating collision, all due to one careless moment. A truck stuck on the tracks in the US, all rescue attempts fail. The driver abandons the vehicle. The train speeds in fast, smashing into the truck, breaking it in half and leaving nothing but scrap metal. Despite clear warning signals, the container truck recklessly crosses the barrier. Just then, the train rushes in at high speed, smashing sideways and severing the truck's cab. The accident leaves 3 passengers dead, leaving behind unending grief. The BMW driver recklessly sits right in the middle of the tracks at the crossing, even though the gate was open. Fortunately, a quick-thinking bystander lifts the barrier by hand and urges the driver to move off the tracks, just seconds before the train rushes through, narrowly avoiding a tragedy. A police car suddenly stalls and gets stuck near the tracks while returning to headquarters. The officer quickly escapes just as the train speeds in. In an instant, the car is crushed by the train into a heap of scrap, leaving the policeman and rail guard feeling helpless. The railway barriers are stuck in the up position, flashing lights and alarm not working, unable to prevent the serious accident. As a result, the front-runner train speeds in, slamming violently into a FedEx truck, causing a powerful collision. Horrific crash in Shenzhen. A female driver accidentally pressed the gas, lost control, demolished a security booth, and then crashed straight into a roadside shop, causing utter chaos in Guangdong. Just 2 seconds before disaster, the pilot ejected, hurtling through the air in free fall. Below, the jet plummeted and exploded into a massive fireball. A breathtaking moment that left the audience frozen in shock. A Nissan driver turned on the left signal but swerved straight into oncoming traffic, blocking a silver MPV, slamming the brakes too late. The MPV crashed head-on into the pickup truck, a disastrous mistake. A crash test like no other. A Boeing 727 plunged into the Sonoran Desert, exploding into a cloud of dust and debris. The wreckage lay scattered across the arid Mexican landscape. A heart-stopping moment. A Texas officer rushed to pull a woman to safety just seconds before a truck lost control, crashing straight into her car. A miraculous escape. Holiday nightmare! A helicopter spirals out of control while setting up a giant Christmas tree at Auckland Harbor, turning a festive moment into chaos and panic. Rescue mission gone wrong. The recovery team attempted to reposition the 18-wheeler, but instead, they flipped it over again, crushing even more cars below in a chain reaction of destruction. The small car suddenly slammed on the brakes on the highway, forcing the truck driver behind to swerve sharply. Tires screeched, just 1 second too late, and disaster would have struck. The white Toyota left the car wash, but suddenly hit the gas. Lost control. The car plunged over the parking edge, then flipped straight onto a fire hydrant. Water erupted everywhere. An absolutely embarrassing accident. Tragedy in Florida. A single-engine plane plunged onto Pembroke Pine Boulevard, colliding with a car, leaving 2 adults and a 4-year-old dead, while another victim was injured. Explosive disaster. High-temperature hydraulic oil leak causing a truck to erupt into a fireball. Luckily, the driver jumped to safety, a priceless reminder to always be cautious when unloading cargo. Crossover recklessly changed lanes to block an opponent. The pickup driver swerved hard to avoid, but once ahead, he swung back sharply. Boom! The trailer ripped apart the front of the crossover, a costly price for foolish driving. Close call! A cyclist right against traffic, nearly triggering a major crash, but a motorcyclist slammed on the brakes just in time, narrowly averting disaster. The driver wasn't just reckless, he attacked someone after the crash. Absolutely irresponsible. Total disregard for traffic laws. Rescue mission gone wrong. The recovery team attempted to reposition the 18-wheeler, but instead, they flipped it over again, crushing even more cars below in a chain reaction of destruction. Shocking footage! A semi-truck lost control, skidded off the highway, and barreled through the median in a split second, leaving viewers holding their breath. Truck carrying a speedboat stalled right on the train tracks, and the train was coming at full speed. Crash! The impact was devastating, sending the speedboat flying into the air. Recklessly crossing the railroad. A car was struck by a freight train while attempting to beat it across the tracks. Boom! The impact was massive, but miraculously, no injuries were reported. The shocking part? The driver just kept driving like nothing happened. Emergency landing gone wrong. A Mi-17 helicopter crashed into a bus while attempting an emergency landing in Hidalgo, Mexico, leaving 3 people injured in a chaotic scene. Truck carrying an excavator took a corner too fast, lost control, and flipped over. Boom! Fortunately, the driver reacted in a split second, jumping out just before the crash. A narrow escape. Fiery crash in California. A single-engine plane slammed into a highway, erupting into flames, but miraculously, the pilot was pulled to safety, unharmed. Highway horror. A helicopter lost control and crashed onto a busy U.S. highway, plunging straight into oncoming traffic in a heart-stopping moment. Too reckless. The semi-truck driver attempted a blind overtake. Boom! The trailer slammed hard into an oncoming truck. A dangerously poor decision. A white car lost control on a mountain curve, crashing head-on into a Mitsubishi SUV. A devastating impact. The front end shattered. Luckily, no one was injured. The car lost control, speeding at 193 kilometers per hour through Norman, Oklahoma. Way too dangerous. Police moved in quickly, using a patrol car to slam directly into it. Crash. The car spun out of control, hitting multiple vehicles nearby. Two women accelerated to overtake a bus, but suddenly a truck rushed toward them from the opposite direction. Too narrow, too fast. No time to react. They were forced down just inches from the bus's rear wheels. Miraculously, they escaped with only minor injuries. A twist of irony. Rescuers had just flipped the vehicle upright after an accident, but within seconds it rolled straight down the slope, flipping again. The team stood in frustration, watching their efforts undone in an instant.
Fuck me. You have to be kidding me.
Sinkhole swallowed 2 cars. Out of nowhere, a massive sinkhole opened up, devouring 2 parked cars on a street in southeastern Rome, Italy. Residents were stunned, watching in horror as the ground collapsed beneath their feet, right in the heart of the capital. Split-second rescue. A driver hit a deep pothole on 24 Sur, Lomas del Valle, causing the car to flip over. Within moments, bystanders rushed to the scene, working together to flip the vehicle back up in a dramatic display of teamwork. Bold gas station heist. While the owner was distracted at the counter, a fearless thief snuck into the car, hit the gas, and sped away, turning a brief moment of inattention into a blink-and-you-miss-it theft. Terrifying moment at the gas station. A car suddenly burst into flames, sending shockwaves through the area. In just 2 seconds, the driver leaped out through the window, escaping just in time. Meanwhile, gas station staff and bystanders rushed in, grabbing fire extinguishers to fight the blaze and prevent a catastrophe. Farmer's unexpected justice. In an act of sheer defiance, a farmer used a forklift to flip a car upside down and shove it down the road. An unyielding act of retaliation that, shockingly, was ruled as self-defense by the court. Near tragedy in Louisville. A chilling video captures the moment a wrong-way vehicle slammed into a truck, forcing the driver to swerve sharply and barely avoid plunging off a bridge in Louisville, Kentucky. Thankfully, no one was injured. Not a real disaster. What seemed like a horrific accident turned out to be CGI magic. A high-tech creation spreading across the internet as a real-life catastrophe. Road rage turned disaster. On a highway in North Los Angeles, a motorcyclist suddenly kicked the side of a moving car, causing it to lose control and trigger a massive chain reaction crash. One person in a third vehicle was hospitalized as the chaos unfolded. Parking like never before. No driving skills required, just superhuman strength, as the driver lifts the back of the car to fit into the spot, leaving onlookers completely speechless. Chaos on the highway. A runaway mobile home swerved across 4 lanes before slamming into the median in Washington, D.C. The impact flipped the vehicle upside down, leaving it badly damaged and creating total mayhem on the road. Road rage crash. A lucky escape. A reckless road rage incident ended in a collision, but miraculously, no one was injured. Let this be a harsh reminder. Stay calm, stay focused, and never lose control, because one reckless moment can lead to disaster. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on more thrilling content. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.